So for today's Life Unfiltered, we kind of talked about weight with Ozempic and the how they're making weight loss so easy. And I think it's important for us to be honest with people. Just weight is a topic we talk about
All the time
yeah,
in our house.
and in our thoughts.
Yeah.
And then every time we eat something, it's like, oh, is
Oh,
this
no,
bad?
I
Or
know. I was on Weight Watchers, and then I went on calories, and it's taken me 2 years to lose 12 pounds. So I understand. And then being on here, it makes you self-conscious, and you have to actively choose to not conform yourself to the image of this world.
I mean, that was like when we've been doing our camera test, and I was like, oh, and it's like, I mean, you can just keep picking yourself apart. And I
True.
guess it's kind of like took me this long, like 30 something years to realize that no matter how skinny I am, I want to be skinnier.
I'm the same way. It's never enough.
Yeah. And I'm never happy, even when I'm skinny. Like,
And that's something I don't want to be anymore.
I guess like when we moved here from Alabama, I was a little heavier, and then like I got on Weight Watchers and I like dropped down to like I was 113,
Yeah.
like 110. I was super thin. And because I was going to school, I was doing all these film shoots, and then like I got a job from my company working full time, and like I put on weight. I went from 115 to 130.
Oh, I understand.
Yeah. And right when I got to 130, I was so like mad at myself and hated how I looked. And I was like, I have to get back down to 115. And I would run and do Pilates.
And what's so sad is I never looked at you like that. But isn't it horrible how you can judge yourself so harsh?
It is. And then I ended up hurting my ankle and needing surgery. And then so like I kind of got up to like 140. And then at 140, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so fat. Like, oh, I hate this. And I had to like get new clothes, and I hated it. And I was like, I just want to get back to 130. Oh God, why did this happen? When I was like, you were just complaining at 130. And then I guess like COVID happened. And then like I was in like this really like high pressure job at one point, which I really think messed up like my whole digest, like just it messed me up bad. And I got all the way up to like almost 160. I just remember being extremely bloated, and I was running. Like I would run
remember.
every morning trying to get back to just 150 or trying to get back to 140 when I hated
Get
myself at
that
140. And then like I did, I got myself like down to the 147s. Like I was like, okay, I'm making progress. And then I hurt my shoulder and my back, and it's like, okay. And then they like, I wouldn't say like it got all the way back to 160. I think I'm kind of more stabilized now, but it was like at every moment of my weight journey, I hated myself.
And then you felt like you got set back.
So yeah, I really had a hard time like accepting myself. But it's like I had that issue the whole time. So, but I know you've had a similar experience after having your daughter, right?
Exactly. And before I had her, I remember I did drugs for a year. So I got really skinny doing drugs, which was bad. Then I had a miracle and I got set free, but I gained weight. And the busboys at work would tell me that I was hunky, and I would get so mad. And then I went on calories. I asked my mom what to do. Then I lost weight. But it's always been a thing, like wanting to be a certain weight. I don't know why, just because I always would just be a certain weight. And then before I had Daniela, I could not lose the weight. I went up to like almost 170. I can weigh 155. That's a good weight for me to be healthy. But I was like at 170, I couldn't lose the weight. I was rollerblading. I was doing everything. But then I got pregnant with her, and I thought back then I could tell myself, you needed that weight because that was making you healthy for having her. And then after I had her, I got hyperthyroidism. So I lost all this weight. But in my mind's eye, I thought it looked good because the scale was telling me how skinny I was. But in reality, my mom was like, Jackie, what? You look like a twig. And I'm not really a twig type body type. I didn't like that either. So see, it's just how you view yourself. And for some reason, weight just can truly cripple you. I really believe that. Because I felt like it has crippled me mentally. Just thinking about it. And then don't compare, because that's like the worst thing ever. And Instagram's the worst.
Yeah.
Because I know, because most people are really, really young on Instagram and really skinny. And I'm not that young anymore, and I'm not that skinny. So you have to completely tell yourself not to compare, which is God tells you not to compare.
Yeah.
But I understand. So, and then around COVID, I gained, I think I was almost 178.
Yeah.
And then after COVID, I went on Weight Watchers. I went down again. And then it's like I gained it back again after COVID. And it was just like I was fluctuating. And then for the last 2 years, it's taken me 2 years to lose 12 pounds. And I remember when I first started making my EP Looks Like Love, I thought I was fat then. And I look back now and I just told God, please just let me see myself in a good light, because I was not fat then, but I was telling myself in my head that I was.
I did the same thing. And I honestly, it's like, I think if you keep telling yourself that you're fat, that's how you're going to see
God's
yourself.
word. As a man thinks in his heart, so is he.
Yeah.
But I mean, I do listen to scripture. I do pray, but I don't know why that little mental block has been there. I don't know if you'd call it a mental block, but that's what I'm calling
obsession,
it.
or like
obsession, maybe.
Yeah.
That's better.
And I remember I was like a little heavier. I was like in the 150s, and I went to the doctor, and it wasn't my regular doctor. It was a nurse practitioner. And like, she put in my report that I was obese.
That's so mean.
And I'm sorry to say, like, she was heavier than me too. And I was like, I know the BMIs. I know where I am based on my height. And yeah, it says I'm like overweight, but I've never been told in a doctor report that I'm obese.
No.
And it's like, you want to be like, oh, so I'm not healthy. Like,
I'm just, I don't know. That was just crazy to me.
I reported it to my doctor, and she was nice to me, but I was just like, it's like there's a stigma on you. And yeah. And I know, like, you growing up too, like, you had people be weird about your body. Remember what?
Well, I did. Like, when I was 12, my friends were like telling me what a great body I have and telling me to wear a bikini. And I didn't look at myself like that. I was 12 years old.
But didn't you have someone make a comment?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what, yeah. I knew there was something.
They would say, chop her face off, keep her body. Or like a mother would say, I like her 5 pounds skinnier.
Mm-hmm.
Or, I mean, it even would be another mother said, I like her tanner. Like, it was always obsessed with my
appearance.
And I thought it was so weird because I would fluctuate. I remember in high school from like 140 to 145, and that's when they would say that. And I was like, I'm hungry, people. Like, I still look good. I don't care.
Yeah.
And back then I didn't really have the stigma. I think it was after probably doing drugs and getting so skinny and then gaining the weight.
And then having your
them
daughter
telling me how hunky I am at work. I don't even think that's good when you're looking to people for approval of your body.
Yeah.
And I think that's what happened to me, because people approved of my body. And then now it's like, oh, you're not that body type anymore, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's hard. And then too, having Daniela, I gained a lot of weight with her because I was hungry and I was happy. But I didn't realize I was going to get some extra skin. So I have been vain. Like, I've told Jerry I want to get the skin chopped off. And
yeah,
I've said things. He's like, you are not doing that. Or, you know, but and living in California too, we grew up in California. It was way different over there. It was I would say way more vanity. Like, people got boob lifts and boob jobs and tummy tucks and got all that stuff. And it was like a norm to me to think people were getting it.
I know.
Like, I didn't even think badly of it. I was like, ooh, you got a boob lift.
Because plastic surgery.
It looks so good. I mean, I seen one lady, she got one and showed me, and I was like, wow, you look great.
Yeah. And, you know.
But your story's different. Your childhood story.
I know. It's weird, like, when you look back and say things, and it's like, I can't believe that actually happened. And I didn't, like, because I always think of myself a processing thing as my mind now, as opposed to a kid.
Yep.
But like, my mom and dad, like, they were separated. They were together for 10 years though. It's not like my mom just was out being a bad person.
No.
But my dad was very chauvinistic. And I remember when I would go with him, he would call women pigs. Like, he's like, I need to go find me a pig.
Called your mom a moose.
Yeah, he did. He was very,
my sister was not a moose.
No, my mom's very pretty. But I guess that by using that type of language, I think it probably in my head as a child, it made me like, oh, okay, so you don't want to be
And you were
fat.
so little too and petite.
So I think sometimes that stuff can get into you subconsciously, but there has to be a point because, like, in both of our cases, we kept wanting something else besides ourselves.
It wasn't enough.
If, like, say we lose weight, even if we did like the Ozempic,
Yeah, but what am I going to do? Still judge my body?
yeah, exactly. Because if I'm never happy with myself, then how am I ever going to be happy?
I agree.
So I think you just really have to put that into God's hands.
And be careful of images. Like a long time ago, I would tell my mom, I would say, what do I do? Like, I just feel so bad about myself. And I just think other women are just so beautiful. And I'm like, God, they're just so beautiful. And then she told me to say, do not conform yourself to the image of this world. And then too, I don't know if I got that from her, but I did it myself. I would actively not look in the mirror because I was obsessive. So I've actually trained myself. Now I've got to really now come to the point. What you're saying is I'll be happy with myself no matter what. I accept myself.
I accept myself.
Yes.
And make active choices to, try to eat healthier, be active, but just love who you are and accept yourself.
I love that.
And if you have a story that you'd want to share with us or you have these struggles, please feel free to write to us. We're not judger people, and
No.
we just want to hug you or give you strength so you can call us or text us.
757-756-7487. And then, or you can email us. You go to connect at the KNOWBUDDIES 757.com.
Want to be in the know?
Subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Listen to us on all podcast platforms.
Follow us on all our socials.
Visit our website, thenobody757.com. I'm Kashmir.
I'm Jackie.
And we are
The Nobodies 757.